Hold on. How weird that you said regal, because that's the quality that I chose.
Oh,
Yes,
ah,
yes,
for this month.
royalty.
How beautiful.
Yes, yes, yes. And you're now stealing my light.
And now I'm embodying
Yeah,
it
yeah, yes.
physically.
You're the one saying, "Oh, I feel so regal," and I'm here testing your patience. Um, See, this is how it works. We are serving each other.
Hi, I'm Robin.
And I'm Rhea. Robin and I have been spending a whole year calling in the goddess. We've been inviting qualities of the feminine every month that we wish to expand in ourselves.
We'd love for you to join us on this journey and enjoy the magic with us. We have all these technical issues. It is great for testing patience, which is what I pulled out as my quality for this month. Patience,
And
which
I'm the one trying your patience because of issues on my side.
no, I was thinking though that shouldn't we maybe have a bit more structure to our podcast?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. My feeling is that this is an experiment in flow, right? And that was what we discussed in the beginning, was that even the idea for the podcast arose so organically when you and I were, we just had a conversation and suddenly we'd developed this intense enthusiasm for doing it. And so I would love to just do it in flow, in the feminine, and trust that the structure of it will emerge spontaneously.
Okay, great, awesome. Because guess what? I didn't prep anything. That works really well for me.
Perfect.
all, all the pressure I put on myself is off.
Yes. Ah, and I also wish that we'd captured my reaction to your hair, which happened
Oh
before we
yes,
started
of
recording.
course.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
My I feel like I'm the little mermaid whenever I get this hair done for
mm,
some weird reason. I feel like I'm a mermaid, but it's definitely me embodying the goddess for
yes,
sure. It feels very
I was,
regal.
yes. But when I saw you, I just wanted to worship you.
Yes, yes, yes.
Hold on. How weird that you said regal, because that's the quality that I chose.
Oh,
Yes,
ah,
yes,
for this month.
royalty.
How beautiful.
Yeah. Yes, yes. And you're now stealing my light.
And now I'm embodying
Yeah,
it
yeah. Yes.
physically.
You're the one saying, "Oh, I feel so regal," and I'm here testing your patience. Um, See, this is how it works. We are serving each other.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting the benefits of two qualities every single month as a result of going through this journey with you.
Exactly, which is why we could only have done it together.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed.
Yes, but I've actually, it's been 2 weeks now since we chose the qualities, and I was just having a feeling that I wasn't receiving royalty. And so I also had the sense that I was coming to this discussion with nothing to contribute. However, just in sort of the few minutes before we started speaking, um, I happened to see a quote that said, uh, I paraphrase, success is about will. That's a concept that has also been coming up in the last couple of weeks. Someone else said to me, existence is absurd and willingness is all. And that was something that kind of, I wouldn't say resonated immediately because I don't agree that existence is absurd. I think it's very meaningful.
Mhm.
So I asked him to clarify what he meant, and he said, "Oh, I mean, it has no explanation." And actually, that's something that I can agree with, that there is the great mystery. We are deep in the mystery. We don't think about it day to day because we're just performing the kind of actions of what we need to do. But when you really think, who am I? It's a mystery, right? Um, anyway, but the relevant part of that was about the willingness. And I think that's why it stuck with me and I kept kind of coming back to it. And then again today, this question of will. And I suddenly associated that quality with royalty.
Hmm.
Because when the a very integral part of the image of the queen or the king is that their will is law.
Yeah. Wow. That's so true.
Yeah,
Wow.
yes. And that's almost the definition of the power that they embody, that their and their will immediately can be translated into reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's actually very significant for me because I feel like that's so often been the ingredient that is lacking in, and especially when it comes to my own expression. So I can fairly well execute anyone else's will. Give me a project, and I'll do it very well. But what,
Do you feel like do you know what your own will is as the starting point?
that's a very good question. Um, you need to, yeah, start with purpose, right? Um, and the queen has the advantage of an incredibly clear purpose. She is the leader of her people, and maybe they invest her with that will. But yes, that's the thing that I think I'm going to be grappling with the most. I don't have good answers right now, but I do know that I've never really completed something that is just mine.
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
Mm,
How really? You're so all I'm thinking is you have such a big heart. You're so giving of yourself to everyone else. I think maybe I'm a little bit more on the selfish side, but maybe that's just my Leo side coming out. Be like me, 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 me.
oh,
Wow. Yeah, that's really interesting.
mhm.
Hmm.
And it's about service. Actually made me think that when you with your reference to selfishness, that the will of the sovereign is deployed in service. I mean,
Mm.
ideally, if it's not a situation of terrible self-indulgence and exploitation. Um, but yes, the will of the queen is in service to her people. Um, so I also have to ask myself, have I served myself? Uh,
Yeah,
but yes.
I was thinking about a this topic, and as I said, like, oh, selfish and
Mm,
being a Leo. There's also these generalizations about Leos being very self-centered, arrogant, we're stubborn, and we're what else? What other characteristics come up? But I guess those are some of the more I'd say like shadow aspects of the Leo personality. I
Mm-hmm.
don't solely like, I mean, obviously you need to look at the full nasal chart to really get a full idea of different people. It's not only about our star sign, but there is a very self-centric sort of aspect about Leos. And I was thinking about this recently. Actually, this last week, I think I had a conversation with someone, and I realized that actually it is important for me. I always said, like, I want to do things to help other people.
Mm.
But I've actually realized that the energy and focus needs to be internally within myself
Mm-hmm.
first.
Mm-hmm.
So even though, yeah, like selfish, it has a very negative connotation to it, but actually I do have to be selfish. Like in order, based on like my personality type, the way I project energy, it comes naturally to me.
Mm-hmm.
That you know, I give energy to a lot of people without even really thinking about it. But if I haven't protected and looked after and refueled by myself internally and looked after myself and made sure that I'm happy with who I am and I've nurtured myself, I can't do that to serve other people. So even though I do feel like my life is to be in servitude, the
Mm-hmm.
way I apply that is weirdly actually by looking after and nurturing myself and making sure that, I'm in a good place. And as a result of doing that, I just radiate and like I'm more energized to be of servitude towards other people and like share love and wisdom. That sort of, yeah, that's sort of how I've like reframed that perspective of a Leo and being very, very selfish. I'm like, wait, it is definitely true though. I do have to, I realize I do have to be selfish. Because if I ignore that, then I burn out. And in the past, that's what I did. I was in roles and I was constantly just in servitude of other people, and all my energy was focused on like my teams and the people around me. And in doing that, I completely neglected my own energy
Mm-hmm.
and depleted. Like a cup completely went dry. And then there was nothing left to give to everyone. And so then I was kaput. They weren't beneficiaries. And yeah, we were back. It wasn't a really great situation. Just something on that topic of like you talking about
Mm-hmm.
your will, what you want to do, that I was reflecting on actually recently.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that. Uh, Everything you say completely resonates with the way that I've been thinking about it. I think there's quite a difference between thinking and doing. So,
Okay, so then now we're going to come up with the doing parts, and
yes,
I'm going to keep
yes.
you accountable to something. Because I can check in on you every 2 weeks to see how we're progressing on the thinking to executing.
Nice. Which I feel deeply awkward about. Well, I'm just saying, expressing from last month's quality that in my body, when I hear you say that, yeah, there's resistance, and that's exactly the same resistance that's held me back, obviously. So that, yeah, that definitely needs to be investigated. It's not that I haven't, and I know where pucks I come from, but I'm sure it's very connected to also my resistance to being photographed. Things we talked about. Um, or yeah, that part of me that wants to hide away and that instinctively when someone wants to take pictures goes, "Mm." um, and that is far from regal.
You're going to be on coins for everyone to see around the world. Like, that's.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my own meme coin. Why not? We can just do that tomorrow. But actually, on the same topic, somebody that I was on a group chat with mentioned in the chat, and this was part of that 21-day practice that I've been doing that I described to you last season, where I was activating my energy and like lying on the earth and being the cosmic sandwich. At one point, this young woman commented that she wanted to release her fears around being seen and her feelings of discomfort. And I looked at her profile picture, and she was just the most radiant person. It astonished me looking at her that she felt that way inside.
Yeah.
And I just had to message her. I didn't know her, but I sent her a message and I said what I saw.
Yeah.
And she was obviously, very grateful for that. Uh, but she also then did something that I really valued, which is she said, let's support each other in working through this. And that felt like the goddess was
Yeah.
present. Um, it was so precious to have just a complete stranger say, you know what, let's go on this journey together
Yeah.
and support each other as women in overcoming something that affects so many women. And and then again, whilst I'm here in Miami, been having a lot of conversations with um, the person I'm staying with, and we even recorded a conversation that we had about self-validation and how that's also at the root of so many challenges that women experience. Um, our inability to self-validate means we put ourselves in situations in bad relationships, um, or we don't push ourselves to succeed in the same ways, mm, because we just want to stay in the zone of comfort and the zone where we're just about able to continue based on that external validation that we're getting.
Yeah.
But it can so often make us dependent on situations that aren't constructive or that just keep us limited. And so we were saying to each other, how do we um, support women in self-validating, which is kind of what you did.
Yeah. Yeah, but then is it not still if as other women, I think like, yeah, supporting women also in a almost that you might not have a close relationship with this woman, for example, that you reached out to. I think also just having someone, sometimes you can get validation from your friends and people you're close to, and you almost downplay it as much as you
Mhm.
shouldn't because they're the ones who actually love you and care deeply about you. So
Yeah.
but oh, are they just saying that because they're trying to
Mhm.
make me feel better? Whereas if an absolute stranger does it, maybe I should listen to this. If somebody else that doesn't know me from a bar of soap can immediately feel and sense my
Right.
energy and and realizes this from what they are, the short minimal interaction they've had from me. It's, for
Mhm.
some reason, you give that a lot more sometimes, I think, than if it's just coming from your inner circle. But is that not also still validating? You're not really dealing with the source issue.
I totally agree. I don't think that me telling her that she radiates is really ultimately the thing that's gonna help her. But what I was referring to, what you did was, you said, um, rather than tell me, "Oh, I'm so great," you said,
Accountable.
I can help you be accountable." Right?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yes. And that's where you're actually going to help me self-validate,
Mm.
right? Is that you're saying, I believe in you. You can do this. And I'm going to be here for to make sure that it happens.
Ah.
Mm,
Ooh.
mm, mm,
Now I get it. I completely
mm,
missed that.
mm,
But
mm,
you're right, because you're still retaining ownership of that
mhm.
and you're just being supported through it. Oh, I
Yeah.
like that.
Yes. Yes. It's about, and the thing that me and my friend here concluded was also it's about having that space. Maybe you can call it community, but fundamentally for women to have a space of acceptance with other women, of love, where they can feel accepted just as they are now in this moment. It's not about judging and saying, oh, why aren't you exercising your will to feel seen and then to feel held in a way that they can be,
Yeah.
right? And I think we're doing with this. We talked about this,
Hmm.
that we would love for this to grow into not just a podcast, but that space where we're giving permission for that.
Yeah.
Well, I've had a question in my mind for a while
Uh-huh.
that's completely unrelated, which is, given that you're a Leo, how is this Leo moon affecting you?
It's a Leo moon today.
Apparently,
Apparently, I should keep up. I know we had Pisces. This is this making me laugh. It's making me think about this post that I put on my profile for the new moon ritual, where I literally was like, "There's a planetary alignment. I have no idea what the fuck that means." But apparently it's something important. And the Leo, well, I mean, I hadn't thought about it, but I can tell you how this
yes,
week has been
yes.
going for me, actually. And now that wow,
Mm,
okay,
mm,
interesting,
mm.
very interesting. All of the pieces are falling into place. So this week has been very creatively expressive for me, insanely more so than it has been in a while. I'm not worried about plans, the future. I've been very fully present in the now. I've been waking up. I've been also sleeping really well and waking up before my alarm, which for
Ooh.
me is weird. Um, so I have been actually getting less. I've been far more energized and
Mm-hmm.
needing less energy. And also, this might also be partly based on my menstrual cycle. I'm in my summer now. So generally this is the weeks when I'm a lot more energized. But outside is really cloudy and grey, typical London weather
Mm-hmm.
over this week, and it's been really cold. And I've been in my apartment and making everything super bright. I've been
Mm-hmm.
drawing and painting nonstop. I have so many new paintings around my house. It literally, I had to tidy up just before this because I've turned my apartment into an artist studio.
I wish you hadn't tidied. I want to see them. Why don't you go and get a painting? I want to see it now. This could be a
Well, this was
multimedia presentation.
This was a drawing that was based on the transition. So I read something about a butterfly, caterpillar having a conversation with a butterfly, a really beautiful short story. And then I decided to draw this. And then, here's another. I'm just grabbing ones that are kind of close by.
Oh, I really like that. And that's actually this moon has had that color. That's interesting. Mm.
And then what's another one? One of balance. Can't really, well, some more drawings over here.
Such beautiful detail.
This is a work in progress. I started it, and I don't know. If it's gonna progress further because I really don't like drawing hands. They're so difficult to get the proportions right.
Yeah.
Super difficult.
Yes.
Um,
Funnily enough, I got really frustrated with AI's inability to do hands this week, and so I asked it. I went, "Ooh, that's good."
so that's the start of it. I started drawing
Yeah.
it, and then I started because it's actually supposed to be two hands kind of linked like this. And I started with the one hand, and then now I'm a little bit worried that hand's going to be all not in proportion. Just a little bit too big or too little or something. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm still thinking about this one if it's going to actually turn into something.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great that you challenged yourself to do something difficult. Um,
Yeah, I'm creating a new like wall because this year, as you know, like I'm calling in love and I'm finding my husband, and part of that is transforming my home to welcome love into it. And it means having less of like these artworks that are just about like singular people, but more about like joy, love, family, which is, I guess, what the main inspiration was behind me doing the paintings, because I need new art. Instead of buying new art, I can just make it myself because I know how to paint.
Oh, that's wonderful. Is because I've read about how, yeah, there is this school of thought that says if you're calling in the one, um, you should make space in your space for that person,
Yeah,
and like doesn't make a little shelf for them, and
yeah.
right.
I've got empty cupboards in my house now, which
So,
was very hard to do, by the way.
so that's my question: is are you preparing in that way?
Yeah. Exactly.
Mm,
So made space in my cupboards. Also, this was a weird one, but I had friends over and I made coffee for them and realized I had a mocha pot that could only make enough for one person. So I bought a bigger mocha pot. So now
unacceptable.
I can make coffee for more than one person. So yeah, noticing things where it's all for one person or singular.
Mhm.
And also, yeah, so in terms of the art, transforming that, making space. My main bedroom, you can only get onto the bed from the one side and not the other side.
Ooh,
Um,
that's a major block.
Huge block. I
Yeah,
mean, you kind of like climb over the other
well,
person, which
that
is
could be
what has had to
sexy.
happen in the past. But it's not really practical for a couple
Mm,
living in
mm,
in in this apartment. So my dad's already designed a completely new format for my main bedroom. He's actually sending me the plans this weekend, and then I'm gonna do it myself. I'm not
yeah.
sure if that's maybe a bit too ambitious because it's built-in cupboards and everything. That's what I've realized. And talking about the Leo moon and this week being very much for me about creative expression, actually, a lot of that. But what I've realized is that I love places to be very tidy and organized. Like my like space is always very organized. But when it comes to my creative exploits, I love chaos. I want chaos. So when I have like all my paints out, my pencils, my pens, this is paper, like it is like a bombshell in my lounge and it makes me so happy. I'm sitting there in the middle of all of this and I'm just like, oh, I'll take this. Oh, I'll
Yes,
take that.
yes.
But then when I'm done, I want my home, because it's in the middle of my lounge, to go back to being all tidy again.
Mm,
And I just find that it feels like like I'd love it to be in I don't know, a nice little conservatory in a
mhm.
garden with lots of big windows where I can just close the door and my creative chaos can just stay there in this nice little beautiful container. And I don't have to tidy it up because I can just go into
Mhm.
another room that is all neat and tidy where I can have my tea and relax.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel that. How do you think chaos and creation are related? Because even saying those two words together immediately just made me think of something like the Big Bang, right? Or
That's the image I had in my head.
yes.
And it's just something new that wasn't there before. I
Mm,
think it's part of that I think like it's my mind. The chaos in the room is
mhm,
basically my mind and all the ideas, and they're
mm,
just
mm,
scattered.
mm.
Um, and it's a visual representation of what's going on inside. Yeah.
And should we be calling it chaos, right?
Yeah, chaos has got a negative connotation to
Mm,
it. Um, but I find chaos beautiful. I hear the word chaos, I'm like, ooh, something interesting is lurking in the middle of all of that.
yeah.
There's something that nobody knew or saw or expected is hiding in the middle of all of that. Um, if I think about chaos and then I think about my brothers, then I'm going completely off piste. Chaos and emotional stuff is different, but chaos and creativity is great. Although, should they be different? I don't know. What's
But
your perspective?
oh, my brain is just loving this. But it's going in all directions, hence chaos. it's it's also about potential. I s- I suppose you're moving between states of energy or levels of organization, and uh, when you're in the chaotic state, it's pure potential, right? So you're inviting that, you're allowing it to happen by not having an expectation. It was very connected in my mind as well when you were speaking about it to the unknown, because fundamentally, when you're creating, yeah, you're moving in that direction of the unknown, as it would be creating.
Yeah.
And yeah, so you just use chaos as the word to designate that, but I don't see it as any less harmonious, or the overall um, state of the universe hasn't changed just because in your part of it there's this outburst. So, so whatever it is that you're doing, it's still part of this very harmonious whole. You're just playing with energy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can think of, yeah, chaos in the context of my creativity is great. I think about times when I felt really down and then there was chaos and then you can't handle it. I think it's very dependent on what your baseline is. I think
Mhm.
what if you're in a very healthy sort of mental baseline and then there's chaos that comes and there's room for that creativity. It's a bit of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Like you need to
Mhm.
have certain number of those foundational ones there in place to allow for you to be able to handle like the chaos and then to be creative with it. If you don't have those like basic needs met, then you're just going to be like crumbling underneath all of this and not know and have like decision paralysis because there's too many like different things going on around you that you don't feel like you have any control over.
Right,
Um,
right. And I think the control piece is the key. I think it's very hard to embrace the unknown, which chaos is, when uh you don't have that foundation, where you don't feel it in control. Yeah. And that probably echoes the masculine and feminine too, right? The inner sense that, oh, I'm grounded in my foundation to allow the creativity to flow. And
yeah.
that's probably, coming back to our initial conversation, why I struggled with will, the will to my creativity. Um, because for many reasons I haven't really had strong inner masculine.
And what about commitment? You mentioned commitment earlier, that's been showing up. We're going through all the C's today, by the way. Creativity, chaos, commitment. So I thought I would just stick to the whole alliteration.
Yes, that's so true. And they also connect very well together, because you have to be committed to following through the chaos.
Connect. There we go. Another C.
Yes.
Sorry,
But
I'm wordsmithing the hell out of things today.
I love it. I love it so much. Words are beautiful. Um, yeah, if you're if the chaos becomes too much and you don't have the commitment to get through it, then, like, your picture of the hands will never be finished. You'll just spend the whole time questioning, is this hand too small?
Can I tell you what I did? I bought a digital version of it and I'm going to go and print it.
All right.
That's called compromise. On another C.
Ooh, I love it. I feel like this is the entire framework of existence right here. We, we need a circle, the cycle of commitment, chaos, commitment, collapse, provide.
Okay,
Yeah,
circling back to commitment,
yeah, yeah.
centered on Rhea.
Commitment and will are obviously very related. I was wondering if they were actually the same, and if not, then how they're different. What is the nuance between will and commitment? And I suppose will is more about the steps of the execution, and commitment is maybe the consistency of that.
I see will a bit more about also desire.
Mm. Mm.
Um, Commitment, there's two different versions I have in my mind. One being um, the more negative one, that you've actually made a commitment and now you have to stick to it, even though it might be against your will, for example. Um, yeah, it does feel commitment to me is a lot more like it has to be done and there's no room movement
Mm.
around it. Whereas will's got a lighter tone of this is what I would, at least in the way I interpret the words. Um, yeah, more around like desire, a bit more attuned to purpose.
Mm.
Commitment to me, I suddenly see these bars all around me and I get all, um, maybe this is just some of my commitment issues.
Second. I think we might have gotten to the breakthrough moment in trusting the flow. We have gotten there. Because how can you call in the one if you have these feelings about commitment?
Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
very and this is the second time this is coming up today. I got on the phone with my mortgage broker and
Mm.
like I've just redone my mortgage for a new mortgage deal and it just went in a week ago. I call him and I'm like, "Hey Jack, so I'm having a bit of commitment issues about this mortgage deal." And he's like, "Talk to me, Robin. What's wrong?" And then we start discussing it. And at the end of the day, he got me to calm down and I'm staying in my mortgage deal. It's all okay. But the words came out of my own mouth. I'm having commitment issues. And now we're on this topic of commitment again. What is,
I love how the universe works.
well, I have a love-hate relationship with this moment right now because this is very contradictory to everything I'm trying to do.
Yes, which is perfect. You're
Yes.
identifying, mm, you know, where
There's
that.
still a block. There's still a limiting belief or something that is is connected with commitment
Hmm.
that I am still continuing to hold on to, which for as long as I have that, I'm gonna probably stay
Well,
uncommitted.
exactly.
Yeah.
You're sending those mixed signals. You're
Yeah.
never going to receive what you think you want.
Yeah.
Um, if you're simultaneously having the
Why do I have an image of commitment having the jail bars around it? I think I have commitment is synonymous is the opposite to me of freedom and independence.
mm,
But it doesn't have to be, right? The two can coexist. You can be free, independent, and still committed to someone.
I literally wrote an essay about this.
Like, then you can help me through this right now. I need you to help me reprogram this in my head.
Well, I can only speak of my own experience. Um, and I'm not going to be able to reproduce all of it right here, right now. Um,
Right
but
here,
but
right now, right here, right now, right here, right now. Anyways, just thought we had a little hiatus.
shake it off. Um, so super interesting that commitment came up for me, but it's actually for you. And maybe still a little bit for me, but I went through this in May of last year. I had an entire month to reflect very deeply on commitment because I was called to do so by the man that I'm with and the man who I really believe I'm deeply connected to. Um, and yet, that point in time, he essentially gave me a kind of ultimatum, which was you have to chew contact your cake and eat it. I think that's who you are right now. And maybe if you've been this way. Um, but true happiness can only come if you choose to be committed. And then I just have to do what I do best with the right thing, and to try and get that all straight in my mind to understand, yes, I know that actually in all of my relationships, somehow in some way, I've not committed, even though I can be very loyal, I can be monogamous, and I have been most of the time. There was something where in my mind I just never committed to the idea that uh, this was it, because that feels very limiting. And so then what I did was I basically listed all the things that I valued about being free and not putting that limitation on myself. Um, and then I wrote out, how can I still have those things within commitment? What's at the root of them? What is it that I value
Yeah.
about it? Because it's not necessarily that I want to be open to being with other people. What is under that? What am I seeking? And validation was right.
That's one of my weaknesses too, by the way, one of my, yeah, shadows for sure. So,
Yeah, or the excitement of the new, the the opportunity to be reflected in someone else, right? Because we're different aspects of us are evoked in every relationship that we have. And sometimes you encounter someone that feels so powerful. It's just a wonderful thing to kind of bask in who you
yeah.
are with them and what they're evoking from you. Maybe you're incredibly funny in a way you aren't in other contexts, right? Um, and so I had to think about that and think about, okay, what is it under this that I want to receive, and how can I receive it in a committed relationship? And not necessarily just from that person, but also from myself and also from others, but without that crossing the line, right? Um, anyway, ultimately, the real takeaway is that I was able to feel comfortable with having the same quality of freedom that I value within.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it does also become important that it's the right person as well. For sure, obviously, you can't, it won't apply to everyone.
yeah,
Because this is something I am aware of about myself, that I've chosen to stay single all these years because I'm not willing to give up my freedom and independence. Like, I'm like this free flying bird, and it's just like, are you gonna cage me in? Oh hell no! Like, my entire body is like, I can't.
yeah, yeah,
um, and I am feeling this, like, I've been going on dates over like the last, yeah, few weeks, and been very intentional about it. And a few times the thought in my head has popped up, is this it? This person? This can be the same person for the rest of my life. But then I think, like, that is not a reflection of my lack of like commitment, or I think that's just the person, like, I think I need to also trust, to like learn to, a lot of it's trust, surrender. But my intuition, if I'm not feeling it, I'm just not feeling it. Like, you also can't force things if there's no chemistry.
yeah. And it's not about chemistry.
Yeah, that's true. As I said that word, I was like, I'm opening up another can of worms with another C word in this
Hey,
next
yeah, let's not go there. But
topic for another
definitely,
day.
we can't really trust it, I think.
Yeah.
It's a nice one to
Fully.
get. Mm, how about chemistry versus connection, right? I think those are two different things, and you can sense that very distinctly. Um, Connection is what you really want. Um, and you will feel it immediately with that person. And you're absolutely right that it is about who it is. Um, and you should be very clear. I think this process of understanding what freedom means to you is so crucial, because I don't think you should give it up. or give up your love for that and how it feels to you, because then you will.
Oh, I can't. I'll be giving up who I
Well,
am as a human being. Like,
exactly, exactly. And then you will just have resentment, and that's the worst thing in a relationship. But in knowing these parts of yourself, you then describe the person and the situation that gives you that. And it is absolutely possible that there is someone who will grow with you and who will give you wings, even, more sparkly wings
yeah.
than you have now,
And
right?
I've been fortunate enough to have that in past relationships. So I
Mhm.
know it exists,
Mm.
and I think that's why the bar feels like it's pretty high, because I know when I feel inspired by someone, and then it makes my light shine even brighter having that person there. It's not dimming the light in any way. Um yeah. But finding that needle in a haystack is quite an interesting one.
You do,
But
but here's the thing where that what we're doing is it's not about the needle in the haystack. It's just
it's not.
you are
It's
okay. How about this for and I really love this analogy I just came up with. um, I'm gonna give myself the credit as the queen. Needle is attraction by magnet, right? So
mhm.
you never find the needle in the haystack by looking for it. But when you are the magnet, powerful, powerful magnet, the needle will just go and attack.
It will come to me. Yes.
So yes, this is the thing that we're doing. That the whole point of this entire podcast is just for you to become the magnet. And actually, yeah, I was noticing that we both have these bars also behind us. I literally have the cage in the art behind you. There's all these bars, so I don't think that was accidental either.
No, definitely not. But I think that's the one thing when I said like finding the needle in a haystack, and I'm so glad that you beautifully like summarized it in that way, and yeah, articulated it in such a stunning way, is that I don't want to be that one. I don't want to go out there trying to find someone.
Yeah.
Like it's all within here, which is why, like, for me, getting my frame of mind around the idea of commitment, and
Hmm.
like realizing that they're not mutually exclusive. Is that the right way? Yeah, like freedom, independence, and commitment, that the two can or three can all coexist.
Hmm.
And and thank you for the recommendation. I will do that exercise as well to kind of see that for myself and just like embody and believe that. Because as long as I have this idea
Hmm.
in my mind that commitment is just like being in a jail,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for someone. I'd like to meet someone who is committed. How can I expect that of someone if I'm like not mirroring the same thing within myself, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, the work's all in here. And it's all
Hmm.
this work that we're doing together for sure.
Yeah.
And then I'll become this big, massive magnet.
Yes. Uh, and I also want to share this beautiful way that the theme of commitment came up for me, which was yesterday. I went to the post office because I actually had a little card that I'm sending to my man that I made. It's very artistic. And I was actually going to send it in the UK. There's no reason for me to send it from Miami. It's not like a postcard
It will
from.
have the US stamp on it.
There you go. Extra effort, extra special. So I walked to the post office, and then as I was coming back, there was a man in a wheelchair who stopped to let me pass on the footpath. I sort of hurried up because I felt, oh my gosh, he shouldn't be stopping for me. I should be stopping for him. And he says, and he was on the other side, and he goes, "Oh, there's still work. There's all the time in the world." That felt nice too. And, uh, and then I noticed that he's wearing a hat that said "love" on it in big jewels, literally just laid out in sparkling jewels.
Bling.
Yes, like. the hat was very incongruous relative to the rest of him. And so when I had to say something, I said, you know, I really love this hat because for me, bling, sparkle, and love that's just it's my essence.
Yeah.
And, and he goes, oh, thank you. I love women. And I thought, oh, good, here we go. I'm getting hit on by this man. And then we talked a bit about men and women, and he was saying how he feels like men don't love women in the right way, like appreciate them, and there's this constant misunderstanding between men and women. So we talked about that a bit, and then he asked me, "Do you have a man?" And I really relished that opportunity in a way I would not have in the past either, because I think in the past I would tend to it was a people pleasing behavior where
Yeah.
I just want a nice person, right? And not make him feel rejected. And so I might have downplayed my
Yeah.
kind of yeah. But was very determined to say, yes, this is the first time in my life I'm very committed. I'm very committed to somebody. Yeah, yeah. And it was really nice to affirm it. And his reaction was incredible. He lit up and he said, "You are so blessed. You have reached the pinnacle of love. Uh, this is heaven on earth."
Oh.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, I loved it. It was well, anyway, he's such a positive being. It was clearly an encounter that was meant to be. We had this beautiful conversation, and he affirmed fully for me the value of commitment.
Yeah.
And and then I asked him what his name was, and he said Paradise.
Is it really?
That's what I thought. Is it gonna be? But not only is he wearing a hat that says love, he's talking about heaven on earth, and his name's
I mean, it is. I
Paradise.
For the story, really, that just fits perfectly.
It was
He was
so
the messenger.
he definitely was, not just for me, but for you.
Yeah, clearly.
Because I don't know if I would even have mentioned the theme of commitment if I hadn't had that encounter.
Yeah.
So he's
And
really
I wouldn't have had my massive breakthrough around that topic.
exactly, exactly. Also, what he's saying to you is it will be heaven on earth. You will have that ultimate love when you embrace commitment.
That is, oh, thank you. Thank you, Paradise.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Rhea, for communicating that to me too. All these beautiful messengers in my life.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. So much to look forward to.
Yes. And I I was thinking that also as you were showing me your art, I just had this intuition that maybe the path to your person is through that. Maybe it's through your most authentic expression, your creative expression. Mm,
Oh, yeah.
mm,
I've been feeling that for the last few weeks in a very
mm,
strong way.
mm,
I've been dancing more, I have been painting more, I have been writing
mm,
more. Um, yeah, I've been feeling so much more alive. And it's been so much
mm.
easier for
Yes.
me to know what to say yes and no to. Like I've always feel like apprehensive being in London because there's so many external energies and I'm an empath and it's really hard for me to figure out, is that mine? Do I want it? Do I not want it? But the more I've been leaning into all my creative exploits, it's been my internal voice has been so much louder. Um, and it's great. It just tells me straight away. And I just respect it and make that decision. A strange example, but friends invited me to go to dinner with some other mutual friends this weekend. And I literally looked at the message. I was like, no, I could be at home painting instead.
You know what? I love this. We're so aligned in that. We're literally evolving together because I had this same experience. And Lo last night I went to the most beautiful ceremony, blood moon eclipse ceremony, led by two women, local Miami Hispanic women, like absolutely radiant, gorgeous beings. One of them was wearing angel wings, gold angel wings, and they created this sound bath space, but they also went around doing energy work on all of us as we laid.
Mm. Oh,
And
wow. Yeah.
that was divine. I felt the energy so clearly. And one of them put her hands on my head, and I just kind of left my body. It was this sort of swirling weightlessness. So,
Yeah.
but earlier in the week, when I saw this event was happening, and like coincidentally that I was here, just something about it spoke to me, and I had the feeling of yes, like, yes, this is for me. I
Yeah.
have to be there. And at the same time, I was trying to arrange with two other women I've been introduced to meet up with them, and they were saying they could only do Thursday. And so we progressed with our plans, and it looked like that was going to happen, and I wasn't going to, because I even shared this event with them, and they were not.
Oh,
And and then one of them messages and proposes something completely different, some art opening, and I looked at the art and I thought, oh, I don't really like this art. I didn't say anything. In fact, I said I'm up for it. And he's like, what am I talking about? I'm being disloyal to myself. This is definitely not Queen Regal energy.
no.
Oh, and yet she had displayed it and modeled it for me, because when I proposed my event, she said, I meditate every day swimming in the ocean. I don't need this. And that also irritated me because I felt like I'm being so arrogant and self-absorbed. But of course, I'm being triggered by the very qualities I'm not displaying. And then I'm just being this pushover. Like, "Oh, I'll go to this art thing with this terrible art." Somehow, after that, the third woman just dropped off the conversation completely. She stopped communicating with us. And then um, I woke up so early with jet lag at 3 a.m. and I just kept thinking, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go. And I used the excuse of the jet lag, which I also shouldn't have done. And I promise from now on, I will not make
Baby
excuses.
steps, baby
Yes,
steps. You didn't do
yes.
it one thing at a time.
But I do think it's very important to just own it, right? To just say,
Yeah.
no, it's not for me. That would be in keeping with the quality of royalty rather than, sorry, I'm so
Yeah.
tired. So, no.
You know how many times I've had to rewrite messages because I find myself making excuses and then I'm just like, that is not true. Delete. Just say your truth and just stop. You don't have to explain anything to anyone. So,
Don't
yeah.
complain, don't explain. Yeah.
Next time you'll embody that. But
Yeah, but I'm glad that I'm able to at least see this and pay attention and go, still not in my truth. And yeah, but ultimately everything worked out so that I went to this thing that I had had the
beautiful
yes
event.
to all along. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow. That was I mean, this is why we need to flow.
yes.
Look at me starting at the podcast being like, let's structure this because I love structure and order. Um, no, this is a creative space where there's chaos.
Mm. Yes.
Yeah, I just realized that now. I like structure when I'm organizing things and it's all about control. But actually, this is one of both of our creative outlets. And so it should be allowed to
Mm.
be chaotic,
Mhm.
even on the tech side of things.
And yet it's coming from the purest of trust,
Yeah.
right? And how can things be chaotic when they're coming from trust?
Yeah.
Like a very organizing principle.
I mean, I know we're going to be wrapping up, but I'm still flabbergasted by, I think I hadn't realized this like, when you called it out. This is insane. Again, the
Mhm,
exact same thing.
mhm,
What are the possibilities that
mhm.
you're in a place that literally has lips and then I decided to change my location?
Oh,
You have, like, I decided to change my location in my flats and literally went to the lifts.
yeah.
All the synchronicities. Much love, Han. Enjoy the rest of the time, and yeah, we'll chat soon.
Bye.
Bye.